Young Turks. Now joining us, Matt Atchity from RottenTomatoes.com. He's going to talk to us about some of the movies that are coming out, some of the buzz. Matt, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. First of all, Funny People's coming out, and I'm very curious about this movie. I just read this whole long thing about how it's a little serious and it's something Judd Apatow always wanted to do, but it still has a lot of dick jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's Judd Apatow, right? What are you going to expect? The critics are liking this one. It's about 66% on the tomato meter, our measure of how many critics are recommending
that's
it.
good. That's good, but it's not through the roof.
Not through the roof, but for him, that's pretty good. Most of the critics tend not to like his stuff.
Oh, really? They're wrong.
I agree. I enjoy what he does, but it's not really for everybody. But this one's shaping up pretty good.
Do they like it because it's funny, or do they like it because it's serious?
I think it's some of both. Ebert's review was really telling. He said that it's great to see a movie like this that's kind of offbeat. It's a movie about somebody who gets sick that actually doesn't learn anything, which is a different take.
Oh, okay. I like that already.
On the getting sick genre, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
And then it's always great to see Adam Sandler flirt with doing something serious.
I didn't know Sandler and Apatow have apparently been like lifelong friends or something.
Yeah, they were roommates.
Yeah,
they were roommates. Yeah, way back.
Ah, okay, that's funny. Okay, so now we got other movies coming out. There's a couple of like nonsense vampire movies that were not reviewed or something.
Yeah, we've got a couple of crazy movies. Well, it's always a bad sign when movies aren't screened for the critics, and so we've got Aliens in the Attic, which is a kids movie about aliens coming from the attic. And originally called They Came From Upstairs. They changed the title. CGI aliens attacking kids in a house.
Okay, I'm already past it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the other one is, I had it written down, The Collector, which is a horror movie starring no one you've ever heard of, released by a studio nobody's really ever heard of. It's a wide release.
Okay.
They're just figuring horror movie. None of the critics are going to like it. They're just putting it out there.
Okay, so neither one of them is a vampire movie, but nonetheless.
Nonetheless, exactly.
To me, like now, all the horror movies, like, okay, vampires, I got it. I'm so bored. Okay, all right. So now let's talk about one that's going to come out soon, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Now,
okay, so is this Transformers? It kind of sucks. Come on, da-da-da. Or does it have any chance of being decent?
I think it's going to be bad. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I've got one of my employees, one of my writers is seeing it right now, actually. Mm-hmm. And a couple people I work with saw it Wednesday, and they say it's god-awful.
Oh, really?
They say it's just terrible. It's not good bad, it's bad bad.
Well, on the other hand, how could it be good? Unless you have a phenomenal director, I mean, it's just frickin' G.I. Joe.
Well, yeah. It's sad because you would think that you've got something, look at X-Men. X-Men was an established franchise that had some interesting stuff going on it, and they made actually a really great movie. If you had a good director...
No, but here's the thing, and I'm sure I'm wrong about this, so we'll have a little fun with it, but X-Men has a plot line. Like, I get it. There's characters, and they're fighting one another, and they're fighting the humans, and all that. G.I. Joe is just a little plastic dude.
Well, yeah.
You have to create your own story.
You have a good point. But, it's one of those things where you could take something like that, an idea of just a toy, and actually make a really decent movie, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, arguably, you could say that Spielberg and Lucas did that, taking the idea of Saturday matinee serials and doing that and turning it into the great Indiana Jones franchise, right? Raiders of the Lost Ark is just a knockoff of the old serials, which are really just fluff. Mm-hmm. But they turned it into a great film. So there's really no excuse to just make a crappy movie.
Yeah, but, although there's no excuse,
but
they seem to do it over and over
exactly,
again.
Exactly.
Now, there's an interesting theory that you were telling me about August.
About August. Well, so, we're getting towards the end of the summer. We're later in the summer movie season, and August typically has become one of the dumping grounds where studios are putting films that they're not particularly confident in. Now, this isn't a hard and fast rule, but the movies that they're really confident in, that they think are going to open big and make lots of money, are the ones that happen in the front of the summer.
Well, why is that, Matt? Do they think because if they have longer legs, like it'll last through the summer?
I think that's part of it. I think that they want to play up the idea of summer movies and get out. It's who can have the biggest opening the soonest. Towards the end of the summer, as people are, vacations are over, they're worried about going back to school.
I never believe
movies.
I never believe any of those nonsense theories. So I now have a counter theory.
Okay.
That if you have a really good movie in the summer, release it in August.
I believe that too. I personally believe that a good movie will open good anytime through the year.
Plus, you have apparently crap competition.
Right.
If everybody's dumping their bad movies in August and you throw a good movie in there.
Well, and I think that might be what the Weinsteins are doing with Inglourious Basterds, the Tarantino movie.
Oh, right.
That's opening mid-August.
Oh, tell me about that. Did anything yet so far?
Well, you know, some of the buzz has been mixed coming out of Cannes. It was screened at Cannes, and some people really dug it and got a standing ovation, but...
Doesn't it always?
And Tarantino is a Cannes darling. They love him at Cannes, so...
Right.
He's always going to get a good reaction there, but there have been some rumblings that it's not really up to his standards. So, you know, there could be some people expecting a fall out of him.
Okay. Tarantino, you always hope that it's going to be great. Like, you have this, hope against hope that it's going to be great, because it can be great. But then, I don't know, I haven't really liked anything since Pulp Fiction, to be honest with you. I didn't love the Kill Bill stuff.
Oh, I thought the Kill Bill stuff was fine.
I know, people love that,
right.
I know. But
Jackie Brown's fantastic.
Really? No, I think Jackie Brown's mediocre. Yeah. Now, look, it's fine to disagree on that. That's a perfectly legitimate disagreement. I just, it didn't do it for me. All right, so now, finally, Comic-Con is happening. First of all, am I right in thinking that this thing has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger? Because
Comic-Con has gotten huge.
Because I didn't even really know about it before. Now it seems like the biggest thing on earth.
You know, I was reading about the history of about Comic-Con a few weeks ago to kind of get a sense of how much it's grown. And up until even 3 or 4 years ago, it was only 6,000 or 7,000 people in attendance. This last year, they were predicting, I think it was something like between 150 and 200,000 people.
Jesus.
Which is crazy. It's sold out. You know, they're in that huge convention center in San Diego. It's sold out before the show started for the first time this year. And part of it is because the studios are bringing out talent and really promoting a lot of movies there.
So, like, Brad Pitt was even there for
Yeah.
Inglourious Basterds,
Yeah.
right? And a whole bunch of people I read about it. So now, 2 movies coming out of that genre. One, District 9. What is that?
District 9 is a movie based on a short film made by a director named Neil Blomkamp. And he had done a short film that's kind of an allegory for the South African apartheid, but it's aliens instead of Africans.
Huh.
So it was an interesting short film, and based on the strength of that short film, Peter Jackson had hired Blomkamp to direct the Halo adaptation, which you might have remembered hearing about a couple years ago. They were going to make a movie version of the really successful Xbox game. That budget spiraled up to like $300 million really quick, and so Universal canceled it. Nobody picked it up. Peter Jackson decided he was interested enough in Blomkamp that he said, let's make a feature out of your short film. So that's what this movie is.
So we think since Peter Jackson is producing it that it might be good.
I think it's going to be cool. I was a little worried that I thought, you know, having seen the short film, I thought, you know, is this going to be just this really long kind of diatribe about apartheid? And then having seen the trailers and some of the clips, it seems like a full-fledged sci-fi action movie. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be a good one.
Okay. I got an open mind. All right, finally, Avatar. What is Avatar, and why is this such a big deal?
So Avatar is the long-awaited first feature from James Cameron in years. He's not done a movie since True Lies. I mean, he's done his documentaries.
Unbelievable.
But he's not done a dramatic feature since then.
True Lies came out in 1965, right? I mean,
67, I think.
Okay, I mean, that was back when Schwarzenegger was an actor.
Right.
I mean, seriously, that had to be over a decade ago.
Yeah, so he hasn't done a dramatic feature, and he's been working on this forever. And now that I guess the technology is caught up to where he's happy with it, we can expect something amazing from him. And I didn't get to go to that panel, but the people I know that saw the 20-minute preview were blown away. And they say that it's really worth the wait.
And when does that one come out?
That one comes out at the end of the year. I believe it opens in November.
Oh, all right, okay.
So we're going to get it this year. It's going to be in 3D, and the word that I've heard from a couple people is that this could change how people see 3D movies.
All right. We'll see.
We'll see.
But you know what? It is Cameron, so it's possible.
Well, and he's a guy who changed how CGI was used in the movies. So if anyone's going to be able to change how 3D is used, it's probably going to be him.
I hear you on that. All right. Now you got me looking forward to it. Matt Atchity from RottenTomatoes.com. Everybody go to RottenTomatoes.com. You see the tomato meter, and you see if the critics liked it or not before you go to see the movie. It's the most logical thing in the world. There you go. All right.